Springer. It is very, very windy up here. It's been windy most of the day. There's the view. Really cool. And of course, here's your AT stamp. There's your white blaze. To your left is the AT. And to your right is the approach trail that goes to Amicalola Falls. Here's another stamp. This one put on in '93. So yeah, there's my pack. It's heavy. But that pack feels good once it's on. But when you're moving, it takes some time to start sagging, so you have to kind of, get used to cinching it up. That's what I'm out here for. Breaking in my new Keens. Still on the fence about these. Third pair of boots. There is some movement, so we'll just have to see how it goes. But this is the start. I'm gonna head that way. So I'm at the car. There's a luxury I won't have next weekend. Not really shedding weight, just shedding a few things that are kind of not conducive to what I'm doing. So we're at the trailhead. Everybody's getting ready to, on their day hikes, are coming in. Trail runs that way. Adjusting the shoes a little bit, getting some hot spots at this point. About 2 miles of hiking, which ain't much, I know. Terrain's really rough. I was really surprised about how much rock there is on Springer. Having biked so much of Bull, we just don't see this level of rockage. But moving to a cap, because my pack is so tall that my brim tends to hit it. Don't like that, so may not be using my Explorer hat. Yeah, gonna go out to Three Forks and back. We'll see how the feet hold up, how the pack holds up on my back, but we'll see. Okay, I was just talking with that girl there. She's got a big old dog, looks like Ren 1010. She's out here for 2 weeks, so she's starting hers now. I guess that's her, maybe her husband or her dad, I don't know. But what we're gonna do, we've already gone down to Springer. Okay, we're gonna go to Three Forks and back. So we'll see how I do with this back. Getting a few hot spots on my feet, couple. I may have to switch out these thick socks and put some thinner ones on, or line them. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, this kind of starts it that way. Is Springer, that really starts it. But took a long break right here just to get my feet some air, because I did have a couple of hot spots. Get a snack, and now I'm on my way. So it's a really cool day. Very windy. As you can see back here. This section of the trail is a lot different than the Springer side, where it's real rocky. This is more like what we're used to down around Bull Mountain. So Turner, this is more like that. Lots of ferns. Gone through lots of fern groves like this. There's some that were just ferns on both sides of the trail for several, probably 100 yards or so, and that was really cool. What you would expect, I guess, up here. But the trail is relatively smooth here. We're between the Springer parking lot and Three Forks, and the wind's keeping the bugs down, which is nice. For the most part, I'm not getting bit too much. Some midges, no-see-ums are hitting me every once in a while. Boots are holding up good. A little bit of hot spot on my right one. I cinched it up real tight. It seemed to like create it. I don't know. Shouldn't have. But I'm kind of on the fence with this Smart Wool, these thick Smart Wool socks. So I may be abandoning those at least until winter. These are like a medium, I think, thickness, but we'll see. Make our way down the trail. We're on our way to Three Forks. Probably another 1.5 miles, maybe, to Three Forks. where I'll be taking a long break and resting my feet, maybe put them in the water. Hopefully the cold water will tighten the skin up a little bit. And I'll turn and make my way back to the Springer parking lot. That'll be just under 10 miles. Next weekend I'll be doing that twice. Just not on this trail. Not on this section of the trail. Same trail, different sections. So the pack is starting to weigh heavy on my shoulders, so I cinched up my waist belt. So we'll see. That should help. But a lot of it may be my tendency to slouch, to try to take some of this weight off. So I've just got some getting used to do. So I can see why weight is so important. Why you got to be real honest with yourself, what you're going to use, what you're not going to use. Simplify and all that good stuff. So live and learn, man. What you out here to done. Hopefully there's no bears out here. Done ran into one sign about the bears back at the Springer shelter. They said, yeah, you might not want to camp. It was a big long paragraph that said, yeah, you might not want to camp here because there's bears. And they were right. So we just left Stover Creek shelter. I think it's Stover. There's some big, I believe that's a Gannett poplar. There's several huge trees. Oh wow, look at that. That's right by me, I didn't even see it. Wow. They almost look man-made. Really amazing. So, lots of rhododendrons in here. Oh, looks like I stepped on that guy. Lots of rhododendrons because we're getting down to this creek bed here. Lots of huge trees right in here, which is really cool. They're just so tall down in here. And that thing is massive. And the footbridge, this is the second footbridge that I've hit. Really nice creek. Good water source if you're low on water. Nice and clear. I'd like to see that. Make my way up the trail on the other side. But really like this spot. It's just so cool to see the massive trees in this spot. It's awesome. So yeah, across this log. It's a little off camber. Holding the camera's not helping the trip across. But this is a nice spot. What a hunch. I figure I'm probably getting close to Three Forks because there's gravel. I figure nobody's hiking gravel in here unless you're close to the road. We'll see. So we're finally at Three Forks. You can see the cars making their way down the trail. Some people coming in here. It's about the longest 3.2 miles you'll ever hike. I'm just saying. Well, there we are. Three Forks. So glad to be here. So those folks are going to Bent McKay. I'm taking a break. My right Achilles is hurting. Got some hot spots that I'm hoping are not blisters yet. So I recognize this as a place that I've biked many times. So typically we'll sit down there. So yeah, Three Forks. Just the difference in thickness between those two. This is nice and tight. This is not. I think that indentation there is mainly from the shoe, but this back in here is nice and thick. It shouldn't be that thick. Yeah, kind of sucks. But that's, I don't get a lot of Achilles problems, so I'm guessing that's from the pack. Could be from the shoes and the pack, or the shoes, but probably a little bit of both. Walk back's gonna be fun. I am worn out. Came up from there into this fern meadow of sorts, not really a meadow, but fern patch. Just tons of fern through here. It's crazy. Beautiful though. Lots of fern each side of the trail. Been using my tent poles to kind of rake the vegetation in case there are any ticks out here on these blades of grass. Most of the trail has been pretty smooth. You get some patches of rock like this. But this section between Three Forks and Springer doesn't have a lot of this, just patches. Whereas from Springer parking lot to Springer itself, it's a lot more rock, it seems like. But that's a shorter area, so, you know, I guess it could be perception, but there's a lot of rock on that section. A lot more stuff like you just saw. So this trail has a lot of what I would call Bull Mountain like stuff, as you can see here, where there's rocks, but not rock gardens per se, and a lot more periods of dirt. You don't see that on the section going to the terminus. Not a lot of sections of just trail bed. It's all mostly rock. So yeah, we're kind of going up, so getting a lot of sections like this. I got to cross Benton McKay 2 more times and then I'll be at the car. Maybe a couple more miles. But when it's a couple more miles of this, it's kind of tiring. Especially with this big pack on. So, this is the second or the first, depending on your perspective, Benton McKay crossing. The car is that way, and I'm wore out. When I'm done, it'll be 8.2 miles with that big pack on my back. We got some figuring. I gotta do some figuring on what I'm gonna put in that pack. What I got in there now is too heavy. I'm also not in the shape for it, so, you know. Get in shape, fat boy. Won't be a problem. I know. Well, I made it. Here's the parking lot. This is Springer parking lot, not Springer Mountain. Springer Mountain's still 0.9 miles away that way. I've already done that. That's an out and back to here. Then I went to Three Forks, back here. 4.1 miles twice, 8.2 miles with a big pack. And I am wore out. Feels good though to get here. Now that's funny. Taxi service. Guess if you're a thru hiker, you gotta get home somehow. So I'm gonna go take these boots off. Boots off. And have a beer and some water.